'cause it's the start of something new. For those of you who like High School Musical, which I do, I own all three. Hello. You guys might have known that song, but it is the start of Evolution. So we have a time frame that goes in a circular order, right? And we first start with Lexington and Concord. So, Lexington and Concord we talked about a little bit yesterday. And we talked how they were in Massachusetts. We'll do a little arrow. And this is the year of 1775. So the Sons of Liberty, who are our colonists here in North America, they send Samuel Adams, and John Hancock, told you he'd come back, to Lexington, one of the major towns, because they heard the British plan. They had a few British soldiers who helped spy to capture colonial leaders. And so they wanted to capture these colonial leaders so that they couldn't battle anymore. Basically, the British were like, we don't want to fight, we don't want to lose more money, we don't want to lose more people, so we need you guys to stop. Okay, so here we're going to do, underneath each of them, we're going to do a W for winner. So we'll see who wins Lexington and Concord the battles. And lives lost tally. And we'll do colonists versus British. Okay, so that was the British plan, right? So, rotate. April 18th, 1775. General Thomas Gage sent 700 soldiers to seize the weapons. Seize means to take. They want to take all the weapons that were in Lexington and Concord. And the soldiers were also ordered to arrest Samuel Adams and John Hancock. The colonists sent Paul Revere, who apparently said, the British are coming, the British are coming, all through towns of Lexington and Concord, like Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts. But if you went through my slideshow yesterday called Fact or Fiction, you would know Paul Revere never actually said that. No! Okay, Paul Revere and William Dawes to warn people in Lexington and Concord that the British were in fact coming to arrest John Adams and John Hancock and Samuel Adams. That's funny. They were coming to arrest them and take all of their weaponry. So, in Lexington, I gotta make sure you guys can see this. The militia waited for the British. So that should give you a clue. The militia, I'm going to circle it and draw an arrow, were colonists. Colonist soldiers. Now I'm going to write soldiers in quotation marks because they're also a group known as the Minutemen. We'll talk about that in 1 second. Who were not technically soldiers. Okay, in Lexington, a militia waited for the British. No one knows what happened for sure, which is, I think, very interesting. But shots were fired, and 8 Minutemen were killed. And the British marched to Concord. More militia were waiting there. The British Army retreated towards Boston. So the word got out that they were trying to take Lexington and Concord. They went to Lexington first, the British. They shot and killed 8 Minutemen. Minutemen, somewhere in the margins, were civilian colonists. Civilians are people who are not trained. Like, I'm a civilian. I am not a trained soldier, right? Civilian colonists who independently organized, let's see if I can fit it, self-trained soldiers. So it's literally like me saying, I want to help, I want to do this. And they're like, okay, go practice with this weaponry for a while. All right, you're good enough, let's go. So Minutemen were not trained soldiers. You need to know that. These were people who believed in the cause and wanted to help. So they were self-taught, which is why I put them in quotations here, that they were part of the militia, but they were called Minutemen because they were trained in a minute, right? Hence the name. Okay, so turning back. The winner of Lexington and Concord? Colonists. Woo-woo. Where we had 8 lives lost on the colonist side, the British had 90. Hence why the British decide to retreat. See you at early battles.